Hi everyone, throw a like if you want GTA 4 Res Mastered 2018 here, and today it's sort of another list video because I don't mind doing them. This time we're looking at the rarest Steam games out there, and by that I mean games that have been on Steam that are extremely difficult to get a copy of. As usual, the list isn't structured in any specific order, but anyway, let's begin. Let's start off with a game that I personally have a lot of interest to, for not much reason really, and it's Stubbs the Zombie in A Rebel Without a Pulse. This game is an absolute bitch to get your hands on, and I mean not just on Steam, but anywhere. Even on Xbox, you'd be lucky to find a copy of this for less than 30 quid, and that's used. New copies have been selling for over £100, but that pales in comparison to Steam keys for this game. Stubbs the Zombie was added to Steam in about 2007 and was removed in 2012. And, well, it is so rare that you would be lucky to find anyone who actually has an unused key for this game. And even if you were looking to find an unused copy of it, you'd be finding it sold for about hundreds. I have no clear price for it, but assuming of how rare it is and how many people are trying to find a copy for it, it could as well be selling for about £500 cheapest. And heck, that may even be ridiculously low as well. The amount of copies there are for this game could be under 100 right now. Second up is a game that I am putting here on the basis that whilst it is extremely rare, it's also a game that proves Steam was too easy to put games onto. And yeah, that game is Watch Paint Dry, which isn't really a game, which is also the point. This was removed the day before it was due to release, which was coincidentally enough April the 1st, 2016. And well, those who got it were lucky, I guess. This is because it was supposed to sell for £1, but well, copies for this game aren't too easy to find, except from one source, that being the developer themselves, who are selling the game for a measly 99,999,999,999,999 pounds. That's all. Because who doesn't have that much spare for Watch Paint Dry, the video game? It's obviously a joke in every way, but I still find it quite funny for the fact it's that expensive to get a key from the developer. It's also rare as well. Saying that though, there is one seller who is offering it for 200 CSGO keys or PUBG keys, which is about a whopping $400, £350 nearly. Third up is Afro Samurai 2. I bet you all forgot this game existed. This game is so insanely difficult to find that I actually do believe there's no copy out there for this game. I couldn't find a single offer for this game anywhere. I couldn't even find anyone with a copy of this game. To my knowledge and many others, Afro Samurai 2 might actually be one of the few games where there is not a single copy left for this game as a whole, not even just on Steam. Even the rarest of games such as Stubbs the Zombies has copies out there if you search extensively enough, and finds all with that because it actually sold okay, but Afro Samurai 2 sold awfully. And not only that, but the developers offered refunds to everyone who bought it, meaning that not many people kept their game. It was only on sale for about a month before its removal. Maybe out there someone does actually have a spare copy for it, but if so, if you are really that lucky to find someone with a copy of this, I would say they're actually selling it for thousands. It's not really under much want except from the most veteran of Steam collectors, and they'd be really willing to put out that money for it. But this is a truly rare game that if there is a copy out there, it's going to probably break records in price sold for a Steam copy. Well, unless of course anyone actually buys Watch Paint Dry, the game from the developer. Fourth, we have a sport game, and not only that, but it's a god-awful one at that. It's extremely buggy and was actually pulled from release 6 days after it came out on Steam, and that's Ashes Cricket 2013. This game, again, just like Afro Samurai 2, might not actually have a Steam key out there to purchase because, again, it sold dreadfully and was removed immediately after release. I personally don't believe this would fetch as high as a price as the previous game mentioned, Afro Samurai 2, but it would be worth over £1,000 for sure, because it's extremely rare as I said before, but that's also depending if there is a key out there for this game. There's not really much to say about this game, except the bugs in this game was more famous than the actual game itself. Fifth is the movies. I didn't realise this game or its expansion was even on Steam at one point. Apparently so though, and it's been gone for a while, and I'm sort of setting a bit of a consistent theme here with these past 3 mentions. I don't know if there's actually a Steam copy for this out there anymore. This time I actually did find someone who did sell it, but this was back in 2014, which the offer was 110 TF2 keys or $200, and that was back in 2014. So actually this could be again in the thousands, as this game is extremely rare to the point where it is pointless to even hunt this game down if I even believe there is a key out there, as I truly do believe there is no copy for it out there anymore. I haven't got a clue when it was removed from Steam. I'm guessing early 2013, but I might be wrong with that, because this is a title I didn't even know was on Steam until the point of researching this video. And I own a disc version of this game, and I usually look up if there is a Steam version of stuff I own on disc. 6th we have Full Pipe, which has been removed from Steam for a long time. I don't know if it's longer than the movies, as again I have no idea when that was actually removed, but I know Full Pipe was removed before 2012. Again, I don't actually have an exact date or when it was removed, but I have a better idea of when, and that's about 2011. This is because the game was released in the EU in 2010, and request for the game for a key of the game was 2012. Now, it could be 2012, but a screenshot posted on the 18th of December 2011 by a big Steam collector does actually lead me to believing it was removed around about that time. Now, sure, that's not a great position to be like, oh, it was removed then, but it's the best I have to go on. But anyway, this game is extremely rare, and well, it's extremely unlikely there's even a copy out there for this game. Actually, the chances of there being a spare copy for this game on Steam is probably 0.0000001%, because, well, one, it was removed in 2011, 2012, and second of all, well, have you even heard of Full Pipe or even seen it? It's a really weird game that was originally only released in Russia for about 6 or 7 years before it released in the EU. It looks crazy in many ways that, I mean, only a Russian game could even achieve. Honestly, this game has no chance of being out there for a spare key on Steam, because I really believe it's something that is wanting to be experienced by everyone who bought it. And well, Steam collectors were a thing then, obviously, but well, I find it extremely unlikely Full Pipe was a game that anyone was keeping a spare copy of. And well, the one for it is very low as well, and the last time anyone was even talking about this game was about 2015. There's only 2 discussions on Steam discussions for this game, and elsewhere, the last mention I found of it was 4 months ago about removed Steam games. 7th for this list is Saw, the official Saw video game. What the actual heck? Now, this one isn't as rare as some of the other mentions on this list, and heck, there are definitely rarer games out there that I could have chosen for this spot, but well, this one wasn't exactly a low release. Actually, this was a major release, and it sold pretty well. It's the fact that, my god, the prices for this game compared to other AAA video games that aren't on Steam anymore is impressive in many ways. For a Steam copy of Saw, you would probably find it cheapest from traders at about $200 or 100 CSGO keys. Again, that's not too much compared to the other games on this list, which I could have gone with here, but it's the fact that Saw was a really, and is still a really sought after game to find. It's one of the most sought after games by collectors out there, and well, this game is sure to go way up in price soon, because it's also one of the most popular games for trading of this sort. Saw gets quite a lot of trades, and I'd actually be surprised if it continues this way for much longer. Actually, I'm willing to say this game will probably double its price by the end of 2018 to about $400, maybe $500 by the end of this year from Steam traders, as it does actually seem to be increasing its rate that fast. 8th and last of all is none other than Wolfenstein 2009. This one is quite rare, obviously. Actually, to be honest, this is rare just all over the board for a new copy, because, well, this one has an odd story to it. Because, well, the game was published by Activision 2 months before ID Software, who oversaw development of the game, were bought by ZeniMax Media, who are the parent company to Bethesda Softworks. And with that purchase of ID Software, the rights to the Wolfenstein series went to ZeniMax basically before 2009 Wolfenstein was even released. So, whilst it was developed by Raven Software, they had been overseen by ID, who keep the rights. Anyway, because of that, not too many copies were actually printed compared to your usual AAA games, and with that, Wolfenstein 2009 was removed from Steam mid-2012, which, to be honest, I'm amazed it lasted that long on Steam, but copies for it have Definitely not, because boy, this game is rare as fuck. Cheapest you'll find this game is probably in the high hundreds. I'm not kidding, it's been 6 years and well, the game didn't sell overly well, and that combined means it's rare as fuck. And to be honest, I'd say it's more sought after than Saw the video game, because this is up there with the amount of people wanting a copy of the game. The last verified purchase I could find for this game was apparently around £250, and that was in 2015 if it's correct. And personally, I don't believe this too much, but I would be willing to say it's worth around about £1,000 nowadays still. Also, just a side note, there are a few PC box copies out there, and there are conflicting reports that maybe there are Steam keys in those box copies. But again, it's conflicting and could be false. Some have said it's worked, others say it hasn't, so I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a copy myself to confirm it, but they aren't too expensive, going about $45 cheapest. It's not cheap per se, but it's cheaper than £1,000. And obviously these are sealed copies, which are always rare after nearly 9 years. Anyway, that's all for this video, and actually I wouldn't mind revisiting this topic as I personally do find it really intriguing, and well, if I did have the money I wouldn't mind getting some rare games myself, which I don't have the money for sadly, but you know, I can hope. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe as it always helps, and comment down below your opinion on the video.